Greetings, hello, welcome on in. Unoptimized Fool here in the closet, and today I want to talk about Miss Pandaria. Okay, now excuse me, gee whiz, got excited there. Greetings, guys. So we're gonna talk about Mr. Pandaria, right? So obviously we have Mr. Pandaria Classic coming out July 21st. July 1st, we're seeing the return of the pre-patch where we can play pandas. But there's been a change. Now, obviously, in the original launch of Mr. Pandaria, we saw the wonderful addition of Raid Finder, looking for raid, right? Now, looking for raid is a controversial thing to talk about. Many people don't like it. Now, obviously, they originally added in because in 2011, not many people were raiding. You know, it was kind of a hard thing to do to get that. World of Warcraft in that moment was in a transition that we didn't know it was happening, where it was becoming less social and kind of more, I guess, single player in that esque, right? So they added LFR to kind of help with that, right? To automatically queue, just like the dungeon finder inside of Wrath of the Lich King. Now, it was supposed to be a learning tool of like, okay, you can get into the raids, learn the mechanics, and then eventually jump into the other difficulties, right? But over time, LFR just became, a way to get some new transmog gear, and eventually didn't even really teach you much. It was just a thing to do, right? And then a lot of people would say get rid of it. Now we even have story mode inside of retail. But when MoP Classic comes live, LFR will not be included. Now, as of right now, they won't be included at all. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how are we going to do anything regarding LFR appearances? Well, they have a solution to that. It's called Celestial Dungeons. It's going to be a 5-man experience, just like normal dungeons. But it's going to have raid-like mechanics, and you'll be able to unlock LFR appearances inside of this mode. Now, obviously, as the raids open up, these celestial dungeons will open up too, so you won't have access to all the celestial dungeons. Obviously, as Miss Pandaria Classic goes through the patches like normal, you're gonna see more and more celestial dungeons. So it's a new system, right? So obviously, the hashtag no changes crowd probably are upset about this, but every iteration of this classic system has had changes to it, right? And honestly, LFR, again, now more people raid, right? So I think they're seeing, okay, LFR was probably a mistake, out of the two systems. You can say looking for dungeon kind of was a mistake too, Lich King, it was introduced. But the thing about it though, Borrowed Power was announced in Legion, and everyone loved Legion, right? And eventually, we're in the honeymoon phase. Eventually, systems start showing its cracks over time. So obviously, the Borrowed Power system, we saw its cracks in the next couple of expansions, and then looking for dungeons, we saw it being less and less social, less and less more server based, right? And then looking for raid was kind of like universally, showed its cracks after a time. So it looks like MoP Classic, we're not seeing a looking for raid. It's just going to be Celestial Dungeon. So it's something new. I'm actually kind of glad to see this happen. And what's cool about this, guys, is that this is an experiment, right, inside of Classic. Eventually, we might see this inside of retail. We might not know. Again, it might sound kind of foreign, but hey, maybe it replaces LFR altogether. I mean, we do have story mode now, so I mean, who knows? Again, I wouldn't be too angry about LFR. If LFR actually taught you the mechanics of the bosses, I would say keep it. But you have people from LFR coming into normal groups, normal runs for the guild that I'm associated with, and they have no idea what's going on. Now, it's not their fault, right? I mean, they're hopefully paying attention to LFR, but LFR is so dumbed down that you can miss half the fight and still be successful. So yeah, again, Mr. Pandaria Classics coming live July 21st, and July 1st we're going to be seeing the release of pandas out into the world, and then of course no LFR, right? Again, LFR is a little bit controversial, to say the least, but Celestial Dungeons is hopefully gonna be replacing that. Now, obviously, it's gonna be like a 5-man dungeon, right? But with raid mechanics, so it's gonna be probably a little bit harder. Think of anything between probably just take the difficulty of LFR and probably keep the same that is in a dungeon, right? A little bit harder, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to present that to you guys because it's a pretty big change, right? It's a pretty big system change. So I want to hear what you think. Are you guys happy that LFR won't be included? Celestial Dungeons, hopefully it sounds pretty cool. Or were you a big fan of LFR? Obviously, hopefully they keep the same difficulty strength. Obviously, LFR at the beginning of LFR's history was a little bit harder than the LFR we have now, that's for sure. So I'd like to hear your opinion about this, guys, but I am Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.